Hello and welcome. My name is James, and on this channel we talk about all things brand and brand strategy. Today's video is all about brand identity, what it is, and why it's important. I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I hope you learned something. If so, please consider a like and subscribe. If not, let me know in the comments what I should have done differently. Let's get started. What's up, guys? My name is James, and as usual, I'm here to talk to you about branding. And specifically, today's video is going to be about the importance of creating a strong brand identity. Now, what is a brand identity? Some people call it a visual brand identity, and they call it that because your brand identity is basically all the things that a person can see about your business. So, your logo, your website, the colors that you choose to incorporate into your logo and your website and your merchandise, your company's slogan or tagline, like Nike, very famous slogan, "Just Do It." That's part of their brand identity. Your storefront, your packaging on your product, the emails that you send out to customers, really anything that a person can see with their eyeballs, and one could argue hear with their ears as well, is going to be part of your brand identity. So why is it important? Well, there's a lot of discussion about brand identity, and unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people really go into the importance of it. Most of the time, people are trying to educate folks on the difference between your brand and your brand identity. I see a lot of LinkedIn posts every day, scrolling through LinkedIn. Somebody's creating a post that says, "Your logo is not your brand." That's true. That's very true. Your logo is not your brand. Your logo is one small part of your brand. Your logo is one part of a part of your brand, okay? Your brand identity is part of your overall brand. A logo is part of that brand identity, just like your website and those other things that I mentioned. So I'm not here to make that distinction. That's not the point of this video. Like I said, there's enough LinkedIn posts out there making that distinction. I actually want to briefly talk about brand identity and why it's important. So, why is it important? Well, your brand identity gives your business its personality, its character, its soul. At least it aids in creating those things. It helps with your brand awareness. A boring brand identity is just harder to remember, and it's not exciting to talk about. Therefore, it's just not going to grow in awareness. People aren't going to want to talk about it as much, especially if they don't remember it. It's just not something that, sticks to the front of their mind. A brand identity can help you stand out from your competition and be remembered so that your awareness can grow. And aesthetics matter, and if I'm being honest, it matters in a lot of things, not just branding. You don't date a person that you find ugly. You don't usually buy a car that you find ugly if you have a choice. I understand, a lot of times you just buy, something to get you from point A to point B. But if money was no option, you would buy a car that you thought, looked sweet and had the features that you want. We make all sorts of buying decisions based on the looks. If you've ever bought a house, I guarantee you've rejected a house without even going to look at it, just based on the pictures that you saw, on the website, realtor.com or whatever you're using to search for houses. So aesthetics matter, and especially when it comes to first impressions. If the first impression somebody has of your business is, ugh, that's not good. You might have a great product. You might have a great service. You might just be an overall great company, but people are going to choose your competitors if they go to your website and it just looks ugly. If it looks like, I've joked, I've seen a lot of websites that I swear were developed before the internet was invented. They just look so old and outdated. And it just kind of makes you wonder, if you went to a store to buy, I don't know, parts for your car, that's kind of important, right? And if you pulled up to the store and the storefront just looked crappy and run down, they had some janky little logo out front that you could tell they just threw together on Canva or something, and the store wasn't very well taken care of, you might be a little weary about buying parts for your vehicle there. Same thing, you go to a restaurant and it's dirty, it's not clean, you're just going to want to go somewhere else, right? First impressions matter. They could have the best burger in town, but if you walk in and you just don't feel comfortable in there, you're gonna probably go somewhere else. So first impressions matter a lot, and you definitely want the first impression to be good. A lot of times, there's a lot of competition out there these days. It didn't used to be that way. And so we're making our buying decisions based on more than just the product. Usually when you need a product, you could choose between 5 or 10 different options and they would all serve the purpose that you need it to serve. So, how do you pick one? Well, a lot of people are going to pick it based on your logo. They're going to pick it based on your website, and not just how cool it looks. Usability matters too. If it just seems it takes a lot of clicks to get to where they're trying to go, they're going to give up. And there's a lot of data. There's been a lot of studies, where they've determined there's a certain number of clicks. Basically, if a user has to click more than, like, I forget the number, it's a low number. If like they have to click more than 3 times on your website to find what they're looking for, they're going to bounce. So these things matter. Your brand identity definitely matters. And like all the LinkedIn gurus will tell you, there's more to your brand than your brand identity. And we'll talk about all the things that encompass your brand in other videos. But in this video, I just want you to understand that your brand identity is important. I understand that a lot of new businesses, you're not going to have a lot of money right away to spend thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on logos and websites and whatnot. And that's okay. I understand that. You got to do what you got to do. If you're going to bootstrap your business, bootstrap your business. But if you're going that route, as soon as you start pulling in revenue, it's going to be tempting to bring home a big fat paycheck. But I would recommend investing in your business and get to the point where you have a brand identity that you can be proud of and that you believe that your customers will be proud of. Now, there's a lot that sounds easy to say, something that your customers will be proud to be a part of, but that's not simple. And that goes into the other things we'll talk about in other videos about your overall branding strategy, things like customer personas. You need to figure out what it is your customers like before you can give them what they like, right? So you're going to want to put in the work. If you can, hire a strategist to help you out. But you're going to need to put in the work to figure out, who's your tribe. Your business needs to put out a vibe. Every business puts out a vibe, whether you're trying to or not. And your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So you need to make sure you're attracting the right tribe. If you don't want to find out after 6 months that, you've been attracting a certain kind of customer, or a certain kind of lead, and most of them aren't converting. And that can be a brand issue. If you're pumping dollars into marketing and you're getting all these leads in the top of your sales funnel, but very few of them are actually converting once they make it all the way through your funnel, that's a pretty big red flag that you might have a branding issue. And so all that to say, your brand identity is important. Try your best to give it the attention that it deserves. I understand that you can't always put money into it right away, but you should be putting money into your brand identity at some point and as soon as you possibly can. Like I said, be smart with your money. Don't just take a big fat paycheck. You got to invest in your business. And if you invest in your business up front, I promise you it will bring dividends later. So that's all I have for today, talking about brand identity. I'm going to be doing these videos probably once a week. So stay tuned for more branding related videos from James Welbus, the cigar smoking brand strategist. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.